The man found a box of biscuits that expired 10 years ago and did not hesitate to put it in his mouth to taste it, while the old father found a cigarette butt on a seat and put it in his pocket as if it were a treasure. The father and son were preparing to leave when a pack of mutant dogs rushed towards them, so they hid in the car. And when they heard heavy footsteps approaching, they did not dare to even breathe. Since the natural disaster 10 years ago contaminated all water sources, the Earth's population has dropped to less than 1% amid a severe shortage of resources. Humans fell from the top of the food chain and now live in forests, relying on hunting to survive with difficulty. The father and son waited until the wild dogs moved away, then reluctantly got out of the abandoned car and opened the door disguised with branches. They entered a simple wooden cabin that had been their home for many years. The younger sister, due to the monster's bite, had been lying in bed for several days. The father and son achieved nothing on this trip, and the family finds only some distilled water to fill their stomachs. Sam took out the remaining anti-inflammatory medicine to give to his sister, which barely keeps her wound from worsening, while the father rolled up the leftover tobacco and went outside alone to smoke. This life has completely exhausted him, to the point where he started to doubt whether surviving until now in the apocalypse is luck or misfortune. The next morning, Sam ran to the outhouse and suddenly heard movement behind him. When he turned, he found a group of survivors carrying weapons. The man realized the situation was not good, so he quickly ran back to his cabin. It was clear that these people had discovered the place. The old father began cursing in a low voice, quickly gathered the valuable items, and fled with the two children through the back door. But the daughter's injury was severe, so she couldn't hurry. In a state of panic, they couldn't even pick up the bag that fell. The old father realized that continuing this way would lead to death, so he hid the two children in the pit, and after covering the wooden board, he took a stick and charged towards the group. Sam and his sister watched from outside the pit and saw with their own eyes the old father being killed. But what made the two even more desperate was that these people did not leave after looting the house and found Sam's lost bag. The leader with the thick beard started searching everywhere, and they saw him slowly approaching the side of the toilet. Just as he was about to lift the lid, Sam held it down firmly. The man with the big beard reluctantly stopped moving and leaned in to sniff carefully. After confirming there was no food, he started cursing and swearing as he left with the large group. Sam and his sister survived the danger, but felt no happiness. The small hut they had worked on for years was completely looted, and even their father's body was taken by the criminals. This is the story of life in the catastrophic apocalypse. A few humans did not unite. On the contrary, due to the severe shortage of resources, they began to kill each other. All laws and morals have long vanished. The losing side, even their body, becomes food for others. Now Sam is almost in despair. Losing the supplies is not the main issue, but the anti-inflammatory drugs his sister desperately needs were also taken by the villains. What awaits him now is an inevitable end. Sam wanted to help his sister find release earlier, but he hesitated too long while holding the pillow, and in the end, he couldn't do it. He couldn't bear losing two of his loved ones in one day. He made simple repairs to the hut and left half a bottle of water for his sister. Sam steadily left the house, intending to go search for anti-inflammatory medicine to treat his sister. As he walked on the barren mountain path, Sam shivered from the cold wind due to not having eaten for a long time. The man was weak and curled up on the grass. In a state of shock, he saw a small boy standing in front of him. Such an opportunity cannot be missed. Thanks to his strong will, Sam stopped and ran after the little boy until he reached an abandoned house, and he kicked the rickety door violently. He saw an old man on the bed. Feeling pity, he only took some clothes to wear. He didn't move anything in the room. Even though this world is full of hostility towards Sam, he still maintains the moral line of humanity, enduring the cold wind. Sam continued walking in the forest along the blood traces on the grass. He quickly discovered a pile of burning fire where the bones were completely clean. Sam involuntarily thought of a certain possibility. He resisted his deep sorrow and buried his father peacefully. Then he continued searching in the forest. It turned out that Sam was tracking the gang that stole the medicines. He saw smoke rising ahead from above the tree, indicating that it was the gang's hideout. The man felt agitated and accidentally fell from the trunk. Before he regained consciousness, he heard the barking of wild dogs in the distance. His leg was injured, and he couldn't run fast, so he had no choice but to rekindle the fire beside him. When darkness fell, the wild dogs had surrounded him. Fortunately, the animal's instinctive fear of fire did not fade, and Sam once again escaped danger. The next morning, he woke up next to the extinguished fire and followed the direction of the smoke he saw yesterday, continuing his walk in the forest. Upon reaching a small stream, he saw a woman washing bloodstains. There was no doubt that the other party was a gang member. He restrained his excitement with difficulty. Sam followed the woman to a camp and saw from a distance that she was lighting a fire and cooking while the men were missing. This was the best chance to retrieve the medicines. He was so excited that he almost touched the alarm bell outside the camp, but he cautiously avoided it. Sam quickly sneaked into the tent, and while he was searching the drawers, he saw in the mirror someone attacking him. The man tried to overpower the woman who was cooking, but he didn't expect her blows to be deadly. Sam felt anger in his heart, so he picked up a stone and hit her directly. The man did not dare waste time and started searching again, but at that moment, the large group that went out to search for food returned. Sam quickly cleaned the bloodstains on the ground, dragged the body, and fled with it out of the camp. Hiding behind a tree, he saw from afar those villains capturing the little boy he had met earlier. The leader with the white beard was extremely cautious. As soon as he entered the house, he felt something unusual, so he took out some antibiotic pills for his injured companion. Then he started searching everywhere. While holding a wooden stick, Sam trembled violently and shrank into the tree hole so he wasn't discovered. However, things did not remain good for long. It wasn't long before the criminals discovered the hacks along with the hike. Finally, they realized that something had broken into the kind. At that moment, everyone came out of their hiding places and began searching for the potential enemy. Sam felt joy and quickly covered the woman's body with leaves, then crawled forward quietly. At this time, only an injured man remained at the camp. This was the perfect moment to carry out the operation. He first went to the tied-up little boy and took out his small knife to cut the ropes from his hands. The boy was so terrified that it made enough noise to draw the injured man's attention away. Sam took the opportunity to search for the medicine. He quickly found a locked wooden box, but just as he was about to open it, those people returned again. Sam had no choice but to hide under a mobile vehicle where feet were moving back and forth in front of him. Even the leader with the big beard noticed that the lock on the wooden box had been tampered with, which made him very worried. Fortunately, the attention of these people was quickly diverted to the woman's body under the papers. Sam waited until nightfall and discovered that the villains do not eat anyone. They held a memorial service for the deceased woman and then burned the body with fire. The next morning, Sam took advantage of the criminal's sleep and quietly sneaked into the vehicle. Finally, he found the key to the wooden box on the neck of the man with the white beard. He was so nervous that cold sweat was dripping from him. Sam finally managed to open the box successfully and indeed found the anti-inflammatory drugs he had lost inside. The man suppressed his inner excitement and cunningly placed the lock on the carriage door, then fled the camp without looking back, but he forgot the alarm bell under his feet. The sharp ring of the bell shattered the silence, and all the villains woke up immediately, kicked the door angrily, and rushed out in pursuit. Sam knew things would get worse, so he started running frantically through the forest. He knew the terrain well, so he chose the dangerous paths that no one dared to take. As for the pursuers from behind, they were more cautious about their lives, so they stopped helplessly and shot arrows from behind. Sam did not dare to return to his small hut, but headed to the abandoned house he had passed by earlier. He saw the footprints of wild dogs and a mess on the ground, which gave him a bad feeling. After entering the room, he discovered that the previous old man had been devoured, leaving only bones. Sam felt devastated. Is this the ultimate fate of humanity? In a moment, all his resolve vanished, and he let the thieves attack him. When Sam woke up again, he found himself in a critical situation. The fire was burning beside him, and some villains were sharpening knives while Sam felt hopeless. He saw a silver dog whistle on the ground and blew into it without hesitation. Even if he was going to die, he didn't want those villains to benefit from it. Soon, the sound of wild dogs barking rose in the forest, causing the thieves to panic and flee without looking back. Sam felt anxious and quickly untied the ropes, wrapping his body beside the tree trunk, miraculously surviving the crisis. It turned out that the wild dogs had been watching the fleeing criminals from the start and tracked them step by step. When one of them felt desperate, he pushed his companion beside him, and when the white-bearded leader regained consciousness, only 2 of his followers remained by his side. He poured all his anger on Sam and swore to find his opponent and tear him apart. Realizing this, Sam was forced to launch a counterattack. First, he used his code as feint and attacked from behind to take down one person, then disguising himself as Fee or one of the gang members. After getting closer, he took down one other person. Thus had the gang leader with the white beard become alone in an instant. Then Sam no longer hid, but shot an arrow that pierced the opponent's thigh. When he was preparing to deliver the final blow, the bowstring snapped, and now they had no choice but to fight with swords. But before they could start, that pack of wild dogs returned again. Sam was quick to move, so he turned and ran. The white-bearded leader found himself in big trouble and was soon completely devoured by the wild dogs. At the same time, Sam's sister, who was lying at home, woke up due to the noise outside and tried to stand up, only to discover that a large pack of wild dogs was attacking the placer. The sister had no choice but to try to block the door with her body, but soon the sounds of the wild dogs digging could be heard from all around the hut. He didn't realize how much time had passed, but Sam finally returned to his wooden cabin with the anti-inflammatory medicine. When he saw the door open, he felt extremely worried. Had his sister not been able to hold on until his return? As Sam was desperate and knelt on the ground, his sister appeared with her frail body behind him. That's all for the 10th year. I hope the friends who enjoyed the content will continue to follow. See you in the next episode.